Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostag. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Najee had a hyperextended knee. Looks to be fine, but we'll get an MRI and see where he is. And Herb had basically a strained neck or sore neck. So once again, same thing. We'll just check on him from day to day.
Obviously, much better performance in the second half. You look more like yourselves offensively. Guys coming off the bench really did a solid job. So just talk about what you saw in the second half.
Yeah, it started in kind of midway, last, I'll say, 8-minute mark in the third quarter with our starters. I just challenged them a bit and just said, look, other teams right now are creating habits. They're playing with toughness. They're taking care of the ball. They're rebounding. They're driving the ball, getting to the basket, and we're walking. We're not talking defensively. And to their credit, they had a 4 or 5 minute span where they picked it up. And that momentum trickled into the rest of the team. And the second unit came in, and second and a half unit came in. And to their credit, Trey Jemison, Jordan, Kyra, Dyson, Kaiser Gates, Sebron, they all came in and they just played their hearts out. And they played the way we want to play.
To start the ball game again, you were having issues with turnovers, and specifically, why has it been so difficult? Again, I know you're going to watch the tape, but ball handling appears to be an issue right now.
I think teams, they see us on paper, and they pick us up. They're slapping down on us, and we have to be tougher. It ain't no excuse. And we can talk about ball handling and who's the ball handler. It's all of those guys that turn the ball over. We have to be better. Now, this is a group that hadn't played long together. So as we figure out environments that we can play in, we have to just keep the game simple. And we know we can do it. We got work in front of us, but this is what preseason is for. And I'm glad to see us sort of having these mistakes right now so we can clean them up.
Are you glad where you are as far as minutes-wise? How many minutes the starters are playing right now with one preseason game left?
I played them a little longer today because they needed to get their stuff together, and they knew it. So they kind of did it. We took a step, but a lot of work in front of us.
Jordan Hawkins, coach, again, didn't start out shooting the ball as well as he's capable of. But we talked about in the pregame. He's got to keep shooting.
That's right.
Encourage him to keep shooting. And boy, he caught fire. He had 14 points in the fourth quarter.
Yes, shoot the ball. He can do that. He can get to the basket. He knows how to play. That's the biggest thing. He knows when to take shots, when to shot fake, drive, kick it to teammates. Teams are going to load up in the paint against our guys, and we have to be willing and capable to take and make catch and shoot threes.
One final game on Tuesday in Orlando. What's the plan for the next couple of days before we head out there for the final game?
We'll get home, take a day off, get back to work on Monday, play our last game, and get ready for the regular season. All right, thank you.
All right, shout out to the fam, man.
On today's show, Glenn Willis of Peachtree Hoops, ATL 29, is back to begin a conversation about the preseason.
Let's get into the next one, man. So appreciate y'all for being in the stream for this one. Pelican post-game report for all things Pelicans. And it didn't look too good for the Pels today, man. The Pelicans, early on, DC, I thought a better performance than what we seen in the last game, but anything was better than that. So we're going to delve into the Pelicans go down 110 to 105 to the Hawks. They had a scrappy attempt to get back into the game and make it more respectable. Shout out to the young players, but still a lot to learn from this stuff. So big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Brother Aaron, shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat. See, I know it's just preseason, but bad habits that show in the preseason don't just stop when it becomes a regular season. I'm not saying we gotta be about vines, but you can just tell energy. The energy is off. Thank you, Aaron. Shout
He ain't lying. He ain't lying. You ain't lying.
So that's
Yeah, he right, man. The energy sound off in the interview with Coach. He sound like he's sick of it too, and just kind of mentally worn out, man. I don't know what it is they're trying to implement, but to me, it appears that whatever they're trying to do offensively, hasn't fully sunk in. I think that first game we saw what it could be, but the execution of it isn't, I guess, all the way together. And maybe we caught them where they had a little luck that first time against Orlando. And man, it's tough to watch. But a lot of it is the energy being off, guys just being sloppy, lazy. You want to call it rust, or you can just call it lack of focus, whatever the hell you want to call it. We see it. We don't like it. Ain't nothing to be excited about. And Aramis is exactly correct, man. You keep doing that, it will spill over into the regular season because we are humans, man. We're wonderful humans, as David Griffin would say. And we are all creatures of habit. So what you do today that you don't fix, you'll continuously do tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's not a good look. Let's go over some of these statistics right here, family. Shout out to the family. Y'all, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed, recapping this one here. Very interesting. 38 of 81 by the Pelicans for 47% from the field. Not bad at all. The Hawks 42 of 88 for 48%. Pelicans shot 15 of 39 from downtown today. So that was most interesting to see them do that. For almost 38.5%. The Hawks 9 of 42 for 21.4. Pelicans 14 of 21 from the foul line for almost 67%. Hawks went to the line 20 times, converted 17 of 20 for 85%. 46-36 for 37, for the rebounds advantage Hawks. Pelicans did circulate the ball more this game, 32 versus 28. You see the steals there, 15 steals by the Hawks versus 12 by the Pelicans, 4-3 on the blocks. Pelicans 23 turnovers. Hawks also 23. Pelicans 24 points off turnovers versus 25 by the Hawks. 26 fast break points to 15. 62 points in the paint versus 46 by the Pelicans. And of course, the largest lead was as much as 29 Pelicans. Not much to talk about on that front. So DC, if you please, let's delve into some of this stuff, my man.
Yeah, man. So guess you could say it's a lot to delve into, or it's not a lot to delve into based on the way you want to look at it, because it's pretty much what we've been doing the last couple of games, man. It's the same trend to me as all the other games. Turnovers. I mean, we had 23. We were able to make it close, and we also forced Atlanta to 23 turnovers. But what doesn't show in this turnover stat is the fact that we had 17 turnovers before the second quarter was even over. So, I mean, it's pretty simple, Q. I mean, we can look at all these other stats. Free throws, I'm not big on we shooting 66% from free throw line. Kind of didn't say anything about that the other day, but it was the exact same percentage. We were getting hosed on some calls, even though we ended the game with one more foul call. To me, earlier in the game when our starters were out there, it's like every call just seemed to go Atlanta's way. Zion even had a nice highlight block, and it was a clean block. They just called it goaltending for no reason. I really don't understand it. But even with all of that, man, none of that is the reason we lost this game. It was the fact that we had those 17 turnovers, dug ourselves a hole early. We also got out rebounded again. That goes to lack of effort, lack of defense, all of these type of things, man. And it's pretty much how we got this L.
Yeah, it was a curiously officiated game, man. But like I said, people talk about the energy. You're right. Energy was definitely off in this one, man. But a lot better than what it was the last time around. But in the end, man, look, shout out to the young folks because the young guys off the bench, they made it more interesting than what the hell it was. All right, Zion in the matchup, 16 points in the individual statistics. He led, some of the higher players in the game. 17 from Hawkins off the bench, and of course, you see 10 points for EJ Liddell. And they played big guys. None of them dudes looked like they was hitting on anything. Ingram, 25 minutes, 3 of 8 from the field. He's 0 for 3 from downtown. 6 points, 4 boards, 2 assists in the matchup. Valanciunas in 22 minutes, 7 points, 5 boards. CJ in 23 minutes, 7 points on 2 of 9 shooting from the field and 2 of 6 from downtown. 7 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds in the matchup. Herb spent 8 points. He had 5 points, 2 steals, and a rebound in the game. And of course, like you said, we go to the bench. Jordan Hawkins, 17 points, 23 minutes. He was 5 of 14 from the field, 5 of line from downtown, 5 from downtown, 2 of 3 from the foul line. So he did his thing. 9 points from KLJ in 21 minutes, 9 points from Sebron in 17 minutes, 10 from EJ Liddell in 17 minutes. He was perfect from the field and the 3-point line as well, plus 13 on the plus minus, 8 from Kaiser Gates in 9 minutes of action with a couple of assists in the matchup. Dyson Daniels, DC, I know you want to talk about him later. 9 points in 23 minutes, 4 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4.
Dice.
So delve into it. Let's hit it.
Yeah, man, I guess I can start with Dice, man. He's our motto of consistency right now. Dice has probably been the most consistent contributor of our guys, of that second unit. As you can see today, when they brought him in first off the bench, had a lot of potential with this kid. I had a lot of faith in him. I've always been talking up Dice, and it's finally starting to show. He only went 1 for 4 today from the 3-point line, but he's been hitting that 3-point shot, and that's always been the thing with Dice, man. We know he can facilitate. He can rebound. He plays tremendous defense. I got 4 steals today. If he could just hit those open 3-pointers, man, Dice might be challenging somebody for a starting spot at some point. But right now, he's doing it all, Q. He's definitely grown, liking what I'm seeing from him. And I guess I'll start with our other rookie, since traditionally I would do the starters first. But the second unit was the one that showed us the most heart and fought the hardest. So why not go over these guys first? Jordan Hawkins, man, went and got 17 buckets, man. 5 for 14 overall. There's all 5 makes coming from 3-point line. That stat line doesn't look pretty good for most players, but for him, I love to see it because he's a guy, if he's shooting, man, and this guy can get just comfortable out there, we know he can make the shots. You've seen what he did in college. So my thing has always been just keeping a pulse on his confidence and continue to shoot, because I know the shots will drop. And he was very cold in this game, but he continued to shoot, and he got hot there at the end, man. And he was a major part in us almost coming back and maybe scaring the hell out of this team and or getting a W. So shout out to Jordan Hawkins, man. I thought this was a excellent game for him, man. Seeing that shot start to fall, and he's just getting more comfortable out there. Next, Kyra has been playing pretty consistent as well as Sebron. Those guys to me are in the same spot. Even though they do, I guess, different things. Like what I saw from both of them, man, that energy and effort. It's a big part of us coming back along with Jamerson. 7-footer we got, man. He's not slow footed like Big V. Doesn't have a lot in his bag offensively, but he gives you tons of effort, man. I like how he moves defensively, and he's always on the boards. And you can see that he's got a little touch too, because he gave you 4 assists, man. So shout out to him. And EJ Liddell finally showed up, man. Gave you 10 buckets, gave you 10 points, on 6 shots. 100% from 3-point line, man. EJ Liddell showing you can do it. Throwing a couple of rebounds and some assists, man. So that's the unit right there that made this a game, and that kind of took some of the sour taste out of my mouth from watching this. This actually made it watchable. So shout out to those guys. But as for our starters, man, it was atrocious. It was atrocious. And the only one thing to me, well, 2 I'll mention. I'll go over Zion stats. But the fact that between all of our starters, man, all of them, and the only person who's innocent in this, I would say, is Herb. But I mean, he only played 8 minutes. He had 1 turnover. So you got 14 turnovers, man, out of that 23 that came from your starting unit. That's crazy, man. They played a little more minutes, I'm sure, than coach probably wanted them to, just because the way they weren't clicking and just how dysfunctional it looked. You got Zion playing 25 minutes. He did have 16, 2 and 5, but with 3 turnovers. But this is the most unimpressive 16 points I think I've seen Zion get in a while, man. So nothing to be happy about. Your 2 most solid guys, statistic and efficiency wise, in your starting group was Herb and Big V, man. I thought they probably, statistically at least, played the best, and we got to fix this, because this is unacceptable. And we ain't going to get anywhere if we're getting 14 turnovers out of our starters, and 17 turnovers in 2 quarters. I understand they got new offense they're installing. They're trying to fix some things, but some of these passes that I've seen, it ain't got a damn thing to do with the offense, man. It's just being lazy, just lackadaisical, unfocused, and just kind of looks like they don't give a shit at times. Maybe they do care, but that's how it looks.
Well, I got to agree with you, DC, on it, especially on these lazy passes, man. These are just dumb, bad passes, man. I mean, Najee Marshall, he threw one that was just, how could you do that? And it's just, I don't know, just low IQ basketball. That's what I was looking at today by some of our top players. Low IQ basketball. We are a lot better than that, man. But it just didn't manifest today. And I'm sitting up here thinking that to myself, after a gutless loss to the previous team, that I wiped them out of my memory. After losing to those guys, you expect the Pelicans to come back and play better. And they did play better, because you couldn't do no worse than that. But still, in all, the starters, just whatever they trying to do, it ain't working, bro. I mean, that's whatever Borrego and all these guys are trying to do, it looks awful. I'm just gonna say it. It's terrible. Whatever you doing, it stinks. It don't look good. It looks crappy. It looks disjointed. It looks like a lot of them don't know what they're doing, and a lot of them not interested in playing that way. It just don't look good to me.
I just saw a whole lot of throw the ball to Zion and get out the way today. And that shit ain't look good either. Well, especially when they're not hitting their shots.
Yeah, and they're gonna try to calm us down. And listen, I'm not saying start, hit the panic button on this one here, but listen, they gotta understand they got a very small amount of space to operate here in terms of what we're gonna put up with. Because in this, you're gonna say, well, why is it like that? That's because of years and years of dysfunctional, bad, low IQ, back ass basketball. We're not tolerating it this year. This is as much as we're going to allow you to get this year. So this pressure is going to be definitely ratcheted up more so than it was in the prior years. I'm putting the Pelican organization on Front Street right now. I'm telling y'all what time it is, and when in the ear to the street of how people feel about this team currently. Just keeping it real. If this is, and I expect them to improve because of the pressure. You got to improve if you got Zion, beyond all these guys are healthy. They're going to have to step up and handle the business. Now, 0-3 in preseason, the games don't count to you, but the learning lessons, the experience of plan together do count, and that is what you want to take going into the next side of things. DC, what the hell are you doing over there? You flipping cornbread and pancakes? What are you doing, man?
Man, that's not me. It's completely quiet where I'm at, man.
Oh, that's not you
I'm
tan up.
100% being honest right now too.
Oh, okay. I thought you was tearing up the streets back there, brother. Are you lifting?
Man, you need to look outside your podcast window, man. Something going on. It ain't on my end.
I don't know. I think
you
you
need
might
to tell
have
them guys that be making you a continental breakfast and whatever the hell you got going over there to quiet it down, man. You got the whole production team over there getting things together, but
for a continental breakfast and it's in the afternoon. What you talking about, brother?
yeah, you're a weird guy, BQ. I gotta question everything with you. Ain't that what you told me to do? You can't just have regular dinner, so you always gotta do something different.
A continental breakfast in the afternoon. I got you. Talking about that. All right, so anyway, let's move to the next thing, man. Let's move to the DC. Just be making up shit, man. All right, let's move to the next thing here. All right, Pelicans and the Magic, man. 0-3 Pels against the Magic. This is the final preseason game. Thank goodness we finally get this over with. Amway Center, DC.
Big Sean got a question for us, Q.
I'm not asking any questions from Sean. Trolling. I'm not answering any questions from you, Sean, because you're trolling, brother. You're going to come up here, and you know this is a low moment. You're going to show up here just to rub salt in the wound, brother. And
man.
Already, brother, you got a rookie there. You
can't. I mean, he had a valid question, though, Q.
I don't want to hear it, man. I'm hard.
But all right, come on, let's go. All
right. You spotted him. He says, "Do you think they're holding back because it's preseason QDC?" All right, that's not a bad question, Sean.
See, Sean, it wasn't too bad, man. It was a friendly jab, bro. You know,
trolling. He been trolling with them trolling commentaries all that. I see going over there, brother. Look at him.
Well, when Benjamin gained 5 pounds, man, and he out there looking pretty good, so Sean got a lot to be happy about, bro.
Well, like they telling us, it's just preseason. So go ahead, DC, carry on.
Yeah, when you actually was doing the breakdown of Orlando, man, I kind of cut you off to talk about Sean. I ain't got nothing else to say.
You ain't got nothing to say.
I ain't got nothing else to say to that. I ain't answering that dumbass question.
I don't know if that's an answer for that question. They just stink, man. Look, it's crazy because it shouldn't, regardless of whatever they're attempting to do, it shouldn't look as bad as what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you throw out the entire system. I'm thinking that you just add to what you was doing to make it more structured, more efficient, as opposed to just like, we're going to try or do whatever we're going to do. It just, whatever they're doing, it looks awful. Everything is off about it, and that's why they're not in these games. So I don't know what time it is, bro. I don't know what's going on here, man. So I'm dumbfounded by what I'm seeing about the Pelicans, man. The starters, they're out of it. If it wasn't for our young guys, credit to the young guys. That's why I was like, man, our young guys are making it respectable. How about that? Dyson Day, Jordan Hawkins, our young guys, EJ Liddell, they were in there hustling. Some of our other guys in there hustling, and our big guys to start 5, man. We just awful, man. Just awful basketball, man. So we got one stinking preseason game left to a team that beat us the first week. And people talking about it's preseason, but I see teams are undefeated. The Hawks went 3-0. That helps you go into the regular season.
The Hawks look very disciplined, Q. I like what I saw from them. Snyder has really got them playing together, man.
Snyder got on his 4th grade teacher glasses. Sadly, Jesse Raphael's on, bro, handling the business for them. And Willie, man, I don't know what to tell you, brother. You got to get this together, man. He was like, give a design and get him out the way, and design trying to battle through 3 guys. The guy's picking his pocket, smacking his arm. They're not giving him the fouls or whatnot. And we know that when he does play, a lot of times referees don't give him the fouls. Willie said he has to earn it. That's what Willie told. When they told Willie about that, and I remember what Willie said. Willie said, "Hey, man, you got to earn that." So in the end, man, I just want to get through the preseason. I want the regular season to start so people can't use the preseason excuse no more. And there are no excuses. There are no excuses for this team. They got to show up and show out, man, bottom line. So they have a very short window of opportunity to do any damn things. DC,
Mhm.
okay, you comment on that after you finish stretching out your lawn chair, bro. Go ahead and do your thing.
I don't have a lawn chair. I do have a computer chair, by the way. I don't have to stretch it out. It has a spring that does that for me. But
Is that
anyway,
making all that damn noise back there? That computer chair bending and flexing? Is that what's going on? Yes, that's exactly.
as you can hear by my awkward silence, there's nothing going on in the background over here. But
There was no awkward science. There was sounds in the background, brother. When you paused,
I hear pots and pans and cleaning the dishes and stuff over there.
you know, it's- we got all that done. The cooking is done. Ain't nothing clinging over here, man.
Lexa said, "Give some oil."
Hey,
But anyway,
Lexa, you hear, right? Do y'all hear? Y'all put one in the chat if y'all hear DC's lawn chair as he's recording. Go ahead, DC.
that's unfair, man. See, now we having a tit for tat in front of family. I mean, in front of a company, man. This family matters, right? But anyway, like I was saying, man, it's definitely unacceptable. We facing the Orlando Magic, man, who basically got us dead to rights that first game. We had a very exciting first 2 quarters, and then after that, we fell through the flow, as you would say. And he said, I hit him hitting that bone. We fell to the floor, as you would say, man, and just fell off a cliff and didn't do anything the rest of the game. These last 2 games, we've been having atrocious starts, and we're looking for the second unit to come in and kind of clean things up a little bit, man. We've yet to score over 105 points while letting everybody that we play score way more than that. So if the Pels are serious about this game, I think we should see them at least score more than 105 points. We should play at least adequate defense. You should see some movement. Off ball, man. We're supposed to have all this movement off ball, and it's not supposed to be like last year with
Right.
guys standing around and all this shit. Man, they had a few plays. I saw everybody stacked up on one side of the court. I'm like, well, where's the movement?
Right.
They don't have nobody over here on the right corner. Like, can we have somebody run over there? But everybody's confused. I saw my man Rob in there. He said, looks like every player, what he said, Big Q. It's like each starter has their own individual coach telling them something. So everybody's just got their own agendas, our own way that they see it, because this offense is supposed to have all of these options. And if you do this, then you do that. Similar to what we heard with the philosophy of 0.5 pass shooter driving 0.5. And it's just not clicking, man. Everybody doesn't, I guess, see it the same way. And hopefully we can look to redeem that against this Orlando Magic. We're not going to get off the hook, though, if we don't take care of Paulo. I mean, he dunked on us, had a pretty good showing. You had Wendell Carter Jr., who nobody talked about a lot, but he had, I think 18 or 20 points on us, and you had J. Cole / supposed to be my twin, / my man, I forgot the man's real name, man.
Your name is Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony. He came off the bench and he played really well, and they had a whole long list of young guys, man, that showed in there and played their part. So our second unit, if they can play like how they played tonight, we just will be looking for the starters to show up like they did in that first game. And I think we could get our first victory of the preseason. And this being the last game, I think it is very important for us to get a W, man. We cannot continue to sleepwalk through the preseason. We got to take these games serious, not to the point to risk injury, which unfortunately we did have tonight, and you heard Coach talk about that, and these guys hopefully got off without having a serious injury. But they got to play like something's at stake, man, because this is very important for the chemistry of the regular season. But it is different. We're not used to seeing this from the Pels in the preseason. A lot of times we at least go 2 for 2, and we start out pretty good in the first couple of games, and then people get hurt, and then everything falls to crap. So hopefully this is a sign of a change to come for our success during the regular season, but ain't really nothing to look forward to. I'm just hoping it's an omen that things will change in the future.
Final game, DC. They already slept walk through the damn preseason. They got one game left, man, and against the team that beat them to start the blast the thing off. So if the third game didn't, I mean, the second game didn't get you up for the third game, we're good. Do I think they'll win the final game? No, I'm going to bet against them on this one, not because I'm upset, but I really do think that they don't know what they're doing, and unless the Orlando Magic play worse than them, that's the only way they're going to beat them. I mean, listen. We talk about offense, how dysfunctional offense was, but look how stank the defense was. Can we? I mean, Borrego ain't doing nothing with the defense, is he? No, he's specifically for the offense. So what's up with that defense? I mean, guys can get around and just get up and make layups and do. I mean, come on. So it was a total effort of garbageness, both offense and defense, man. Plus the dumb low IQ turnover prone basketball, a lot of errors. Do I expect them to fix that in a couple of games against Orlando, who they already have a propensity to lose to, even during the regular season last year when they needed games against Orlando, they couldn't get them last year?
Yeah.
No.
We beat Orlando. I think that would have got us in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. We would have been actually we wouldn't have had to play, I think, the playing games. We've been able to secure like that 6th spot, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I'm going to ask the family members what they call this on the game. Do the Pelicans, y'all put.
So we're going 0-4, Big Q?
I'm saying they're going 0-4 in preseason, brother. I say 0-4
Okay.
unless they change completely. I'm going to say they lose this final game to the Magic and go 0-4 in preseason for all it's worth. So I want to hear the flock in the chat. Y'all tell me what y'all think happens. Do we go 0-4? I'm going to say 0-4. I'm not impressed with nothing I see from the Pelicans during the preseason, except for this game when our young guys got in there and they made a go of it to make it respectable. Outside of that, I'm not impressed with nothing that I'm seeing from the Pelicans right now. And I'm not going to step out on the wing or on a branch and say, hey, this they're going to beat the Magic, a team that they have big problems playing even in the regular season. So no, it's a 0-4 for me for the preseason. Y'all chime in what y'all think. Y'all tell me.
I
says
yes.
Think
I respect that opinion, and I definitely get why everybody sees it that way. But I think we get a win, because the thing is, when we played Orlando last time, our starters look.
See, hold on. Let me answer that for you. I know why you are going to say that the Pelicans are going to beat the Orlando Magic.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because our starters looked fantastic the first time we played the Orlando Magic. In the last 2 games,
no, sir.
Well, the last game, I think the bench looked amazing. They kind of got some better rotations together, and I think with a combination of the two, along with the pressure that people are putting on them, I think they can go ahead and get a victory, man. And hope we forget all of this.
Okay,
so go ahead and say a bunch of the word salads you're about to go ahead and say.
Okay, listen, I got this straight from David Griffin. I had got his Fiverr course. I don't know if you know it. For $10, you can put together one of the meanest word salads you can ever possibly imagine. Send it to DC. That's how really beneficial it is. But
anyway, can we add big words to it?
You can definitely.
You got to get your big words on the side.
Nah, you got to mix them in. Just can't go word for word, big words. You got to sprinkle.
Okay. You can only get so many big words. Are they going to charge you extra?
No, it's no extra. It's all free. But the Fiverr course that he's offering is $10. I was like, wow.
Okay,
man.
Okay.
So this is what I thought you was going to say. That you believe that they're going to win the game because you reached in your locker, in your workout bag, and you found pieces or a piece of opium that you are attempting to sprinkle on the rest of the flock, and you're trying to give them more hopium for the final game of the preseason. That is what I thought you was going to say, my brother.
Oh, but you're sadly mistaken. As I told you at the end of last season, man, and going into the beginning of this season, off season, we had a premium sale of all hopium, man. You should have saw the truckloads of that shit that was leaving out of the Smoothie King Arena, man. It was so much of it. And it just was completely gone in the offseason, Q. I mean, you had the whole thing with Zion having a baby and Mariah Mills, and, you got Trey Murphy, who, man, You mentioned Trey Murphy's name along with a little hopium, man. That's enough to get you high for weeks. But after the whole thing was Zion, and then was trading BI for Scoot, man. I mean, it was a tough point for me, Q. You know, it was real hard to kind of sell hopium at one point. And I had an awakening, man. I said, you know what? Maybe I need to reconsider how I make money with my extracurricular activities. So I did a mass sale on all hopium. Miss Benson was out there. She kind of supported me, man, and we just sold it all. You know, right out of the back of the Smoothie King Arena, man, on the loading dock. We got rid of all the damn hopium, Q.
Come on, man.
It's gone, man.
Anyway,
we was in the locker room. We turned over all the unused shoes and we looked for every crumb of that shit and sold it, bro. It's gone.
You definitely got a supply hitting somewhere. That's how you drive the price up. See, I know the game. Anyway, with that,
now we on to some new shit, man. We selling some realism, man.
No, they're definitely gonna run from that one.
It's a bitter batch, but it's kind of like medicine, you know. People don't really like it at first, but after they take it for a while and then they see the amazing results, other people come back and won't get it because they saw what it did to other person. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a long game. Hopium is kind of it's a median result, but realism it might take a few weeks.
Well, it probably will the way they're playing, man. It might drive them back to the hopium, man, because this might be a little too shocking for people right now. They definitely got to step up and play better. Alexis says,
what Jay Black he brought a lot of that hopium, man. He looked like he holding on. He says too much of overreaction to the preseason. He says too much of overreaction for the preseason. It's just the preseason.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Marley said I'm selling noni juice now. Boy, you remember that, Marley? Hey, everybody named Mama was selling noni juice. I remember them times, man.
Hey, listen. Say this. Lexus says coaches seem like they're relearning the player personnel, something that should be done during the off season. She says, don't forget, you don't get an award for preseason wins or defeated. This is true.
That's very true.
But I want to see them execute correctly, and they're not even close to ready. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. What I'm seeing through these 3 games, and this is supposed to be a tune-up to get to the regular season. What I'm seeing from this team in preseason, you're supposed to be able to see some of this stuff. You're supposed to be able to see some of this stuff. You're supposed to be able to see some of this stuff right now, and I'm not seeing much of anything. So, I mean, we'll see, man. But y'all are absolutely right, man. I agree. All right, so anyway, with that being said, fam, let's get ready to get out on that, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Shout out to Lexa, Jay Black, and the rest of the family. Appreciate y'all. Check out Lexa.
Appreciate everybody in the flock, man.
Check out Lex's reports, man. She's dropping. You know, Lex is a contributor with a Pelican Post Game Report family. Shout out to her. She's doing a lot of good work. Y'all feel
Lexa.
And shout out to the rest of the fam. Please feel free to hit the like button, subscribe button, and share button, man. Up in this thing, man. We gotta get DC another chair. And on top of that, man,
Q, say me a play from that continental breakfast y'all putting together over there.
Say, bro, a continental breakfast, dog. No, DC, that's all wrong. What you talking about?
Man, this is all Q-isms, dog. You do what you want over there, man. In your own little world.
Okay, there you go. All right. All right. So with that being
just
said,
say me a goddamn plate, all right?
All right. I got you. All right, much love to y'all, man. We're gonna be back on the late episode of the Pelican Post Game Report, man. Y'all be looking out for some of those reports that we got coming out. We're gonna be covering it, man. And y'all right, man. It's preseason. It's preseason, but you got to show me something, man. And I'm not seeing a damn thing right now. With that being said, I'm getting on out of here. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Much love and go Pels.
Go Pels. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post Game Report. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please